1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 8, but not the, I haven't finished the 8.2.
So I have done book 1, 2, 3, 3 grade 2, and book 5, and book 6, yeah. And all of them are very helpful, but I especially think the grade 1 and 2 are the best because they're oriented towards teaching children's classes, because it gives you the skills you need to teach children.
I like to prepare myself fresh all over again. So I take the material before the class, the night before, and then again, maybe an hour before the class, just to refresh myself. I like to be prepared.
With friends and neighbors, we went through the first 3 courses of the Ruhi Institute, books 1 through 3. And we get together weekly, actually, so that we have an opportunity to plan and to reflect, to talk about how the children are progressing, what are our aspirations for our children, to talk about even any challenges that we might be facing so that the children's class teachers don't feel ever like they're alone. And then we also prepare ourselves, each week for the lesson that we're going to do the following week. Everybody, oh, Army of God, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, Army of God, oh, Army of God, oh, Army of God, oh, Army of God. When calamity strike it, be patient and composed. When calamity strike it, be patient and composed. Oh, Army of God, oh, Army of God, oh, Army.
I have gone through thorough training with the curricular materials itself, and also just learning from others about new ways for storytelling, for example, or to how to create an atmosphere where the children feel safe and comfortable to be who they are, but also to be inclusive of everyone who attends with us.
So when I've gone through these sequences, even just when you think about like starting off at book 1, just the basics of truthfulness is the foundation of all human virtues. We think about, okay, truthfulness has to mean also being kind. Truthfulness has to be also being loving. Now, especially in the day and era that we're in with the power of social media, we think that sometimes just being truthful is just being raw and cutthroat and just saying whatever, comes to your mind that can be vulgar at times too.
Yeah, it really gives you a different attitude toward the children, that they are all gems, have all that inside of them, and instead of you just pouring knowledge into them, you're uncovering the gems within.
Oh God, guide me, protect me, make me a shining lamp, and a brilliant star, thou art the mighty and the powerful.
تعلیم و تربیت کودکان برای ایجاد تحول در اجتماع ضروری است. یکی از زمینه‌های مورد بحث در مؤسسه آموزشی، خدمات در عرصه تعلیم و تربیت روحانی کودکان است. در حالی که مردم در همه جا مشتاقند که فرزندانشان در کلاس‌هایی برای تربیت روحانی خود شرکت کنند، ضروری است تا به این اشتیاق با تهیه محتویاتی مناسب پاسخی درخور داده شود. از همین رو رویکردی که مؤسسه روحی برای تهیه مواد درسی دنبال می‌کند، با یک رویکرد سنتی طرح‌ریزی، آزمایش در عمل و ارزیابی مواد درسی که یکی بعد از دیگری و به صورت یک بعدی انجام می شود، به نحو قابل ملاحظه‌ای متفاوت است. بدین صورت که اولین قدم برای نوشتن هر مجموعه از مواد درسی وقتی برداشته می شود که تجربه‌ای در سطح مردمی از طریق انجام خدمتی در پاسخ به نیازهای توسعه یک جامعه به دست آمده است. مواد درسی از این تجربه نشأت می‌گیرد و تبلوری از آن تجربه می‌گردد. این مواد از یک سو شرحی است از آن یادگیری که در اثر به کار گرفتن تعالیم هایی در یک میدان خاص خدمت حاصل شده و از سوی دیگر وسیله است برای روشمند کردن آن یادگیری به منظور کمک به پرورش خلق و خوی کودکان.
We have to treat people the way we wanted to be treated, and we have to show kindness and love. Show that you love everybody and treat everybody the way that you want to be treated.
If you have misbehaving children, how to deal with that, and how to include all the children, because sometimes you might have children who are always talking and you have some children who are not talking so much. So you want to give everyone an equal amount of attention, as well as how to have a perspective that you're the teacher, but you're not like watering them with information, because there's a quote that is, regard man as a mind rich in gems of inestimable value. Education can alone cause it to reveal its treasures therefrom. If you see children in that way, it's much easier to teach them because they all have these inherent virtues in them. You just have to help them find it.
Oh Lord God, make us as waves on the sea, as flowers of the garden. 1, 2, 3, united, 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 and cling to the promise of thy love. United.
It really does help us to think about the process of development. We think about it maybe materially, psychologically, we worry about their mental health, but all of this is the foundation of it all is their spiritual health, their relationship with God. And how do we as parents help our children to foster a relationship, their own relationship with God and their own path of service? This is the biggest question that we have in life as parents. It's more important than anything else we do. My husband used to say, we don't want our children to do well in school. We want them to want to do well in school, right? We don't want our children to be in children's class. We want them to want to have children's class. We want them to want to be close to God. And so for that, as a parent, understanding their age, understanding their spiritual nature, understanding some of the forces that are at work in their lives, it's very important for us as parents and as teachers and as community members, because we all have youth and junior youth and children who we love, every one of us. It's really important for us to understand more about what they're going through, how we can assist them, how we can learn together with them, how to be better in the world.
I really believe that the children are the light of the world, and even as it says in the Bible, that unless we become like little children, we cannot enter the kingdom of heaven, and so really children are a treasure of a community, and learning how to treat children with kindness, respect, also to guide them, but also listen to them because they have creative ideas. So I think that what I've really seen over time, this initiative of the children's classes on a regular basis throughout the year, and then the camps that we have, the friendships that are built, I guess I consider them eternal in the sense that they're on a deeper level. Kindness is part of what we're doing together, and serving and making the world a better place is some of what's motivating us. It has a slow, steady effect over time. People have said it's like a farmer planting seeds and beginning to see a flower grow and kind of nurturing it, over time.
Night, all blackberry legends agree.
هر یک از دروس کلاس اول درباره یک صفت روحانی معین مانند سخاوت، مهربانی و بخشش تهیه شده است. در پایان هر صفحه نقاشی بیانی نوشته شده که از کودکان خواسته می شود در طول کلاس آن را حفظ کنند. این امر به معلم فرصت دیگری می دهد که بر موضوع درس روز تأکید نماید. معلم با پرسیدن سوالاتی درباره موضوعهای منعکس شده در نقاشی‌ها می‌تواند به کودکان امکان دهد که نظراتی را بیان کنند و آنها را در ذهن خود با آنچه در تصویر اتفاق می‌افتد ارتباط دهند. علاوه بر این مواد آموزشی برای گروه‌های اول و دوم کودکان نوت‌ها و اشعار سرودهایی برای زبان‌های مختلف در نظر گرفته شده که برای استفاده کودکان مناسب می‌باشند.
I would say a lot of the times is kind of repeating what they learned here at home. So when they come home, I say, hey, how was class? What did you learn? What did you do? And then I discuss it with them and make sure they have a clear understanding of it. And then also make sure I understand what they were taught because, you know, sometimes I don't know what's going on. And then kind of the same thing as far as schoolwork and homework and pretty much just be repetitive. Even though my youngest does not like repetitive, but she doesn't realize that's what I'm doing when I ask it, because I ask her different ways the same question to see, you know, how she liked it.
You realize that a lot of these qualities that we're learning in this class, many of the children have never been described in that way. So they've never heard themselves being called generous. They've never heard themselves being called, you know, sincere. In fact, unfortunately, sometimes maybe in school or in other places, maybe they may even be experiencing some difficulty. So a lot of times this is the first time that they've heard some of these descriptions. And so a lot of the children, when they hear this, they hear themselves being described like, oh my gosh, that was so generous of you to share the crayons. That was so considerate of you to think of that person when you were serving the snack and give the, you know, let them have the snack first. Or just to have, it was very, you know, you showed justice when you made sure you only took enough for yourself. It's really exciting to see them for the first time seeing themselves in that light. And so, yeah, you see like such a huge difference. Sometimes you see it right away. Sometimes it's over time. And sometimes you really, as a children's class teacher, have to be able to recognize those tiny gems so that we can continually polish them and make them shine brighter so that they can be useful not just to the child, but to everyone around them.
I help my parents a little bit more around the house. I like to cook with my parents to hopefully connect with them, and we do some prayers at home. The Lord was the one who brought me in this world, and I'm also here to teach people how to love the Lord.
If I accidentally hurt someone, I would say, are you okay? And I would help them up. And if they got hurt, I would take them to the nurse.
Did we draw some, when we had home visits last time, we did some chalk, sidewalk chalk, remember?
You can't do that. You can draw a siren head.
Yeah, you drew siren head. I didn't know what that was, but we looked it up and we drew siren head. My experience with the entire Ruhi process, the study process, is that it's community building. And the extent to which we become real friends, true friends, and serve together, that's the extent to which we get energy and joy and nurture each other through this process. And that's the extent to which we really find our spiritual growth, right? Our own personal spiritual growth and our contribution to society, but also the joy of real friendship, which is such a precious gift. So these activities are not just activities. This is a community. And this is a community where a lot of people are suffering. honestly. So what can we do? Well, we get together, we sing songs, we pray for people in the community. This one little boy, his brother is in boot camp because he got in trouble. And so, we pray for him every week. And we asked just now his mom, as she was pulling in with his little brother, she showed me a picture. She said, look, he's doing so well. And she showed me the picture of the brother with his uniform on. He's going to get his GED in a couple of months. He's pulling it together. He's going to do well. We're so excited. So we're celebrating the joys and the accomplishments that we see, and that's what a community does.
There's a shortage of children's class teachers, and particularly in the United States. So absolutely, we have to, what do they say, each one teach one.
در کنار تهیه محتویات آموزشی، تجربه نشان داده است که مشکل اصلی تربیت تعداد کافی معلمینی است که بتوانند پاسخگوی این نیاز باشند. مؤسسه آموزشی روحی در حال تهیه دوره‌هایی برای تربیت معلمین کلاس‌های بهایی برای کودکان است. دروس کلاس‌های بهایی برای کودکان در چهارچوب تربیت معلم ارائه می‌گردد. مواد لازم برای خود کلاس‌ها نیز در هر کتاب ارائه شده است. به خصوص برای سالهای اولیه بر توسعه خصائص روحانی و ایجاد عادات و الگوهای رفتاری مبتنی بر این خصائص تأکید می شود. در ادامه مجموعه هایی از 24 درس در اختیار معلمین این کلاس ها قرار داده شده که هدفش رشد خصائل روحانی در کودکان خردسال است. خصائلی مانند درستکاری، گشاده دستی، سخاوت و امانت.
The children become much more well-behaved, which takes stress off the parents. So the parents are happier, much happier too.
So I'm not sure if it has an effect on the families yet. I think it's too soon to tell, but I think that it would be impossible not. Once the kids become more spiritually aware, I think it's going to make the parents interact with them differently.
This makes my second summer, I believe, being in the community. During the first community, I will be honest, I did not care for any of the children, and I did not care for my children to go outside with any of the children because in my eyes, they were very disrespectful. But as time has gone on and they've got to know Ms. Danita and they've opened up and talked about their feelings and things like that, I have absolutely no problem with any of the children hanging together anymore. I think it was just, they felt like their voices weren't being heard. And now that they are being heard, we all get along just fine, like one big old happy family. So I really do enjoy this program because, I mean, it brings out a lot of good in these children.
I tell a couple of the kids all the time, it doesn't just help the kids, it does also help us, that it also improves the relation between me and my daughter.
I have invited my neighbors to children's classes, and even though they know we are of a different religion, they easily bring their children because they see what we're teaching and they know that we're trying to bring about unity, so they're interested in that.
Blessings thus far, and the house, and the place, and the city, and the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where